Hello, Ducks fans, hockey fans in Orange County, California, United States, Finland, and all over the world. Happy Thursday, everybody. So, the draft lottery has concluded, and our Ducks have been drawn to select third overall in this year's NHL Draft. This will be the third time our Ducks have been picking at the top three. The other two were in 1994 and 2005, where the Ducks have selected Oleg Tarvadotsky, defenseman from Russia, and Bobby Ryan, a right wing forward from the OHL's Owen Sound attack. Now, like many of you, I'm pleased with where the Ducks have been drawn to select. Now, I know most of you and some within the Ducks fan base are very eager and very um, interested in our team picking at, of course, number one overall, which, of course, many of you, well, not many, but some of you were interested and invested in the Ducks tanking for the last 10 to 15 games during the Ducks' short season. Now, with the Ducks holding that third overall pick, there is a lot of talent in the top, how would I put it this way, top three, both in the North American rankings and the European rankings. And looking at the top three in both North America and Europe, there is some players I believe that our team should pick at the number three overall. Now, normally I would be making a candidates list of the top five uh, prospects who I believe personally the Ducks should pick. But due in part of the challenging times and the unprecedented that our team, the NHL, and all fans all over the world are facing right now, it's important to look at the two candidates, or should I say three, who I believe should fit very well into our Ducks system of hockey as well as the team in general in the long term. Now, there are many things that our team can do. Number one, our Ducks could keep the pick, as usually they're in their MO. Their strategy has always been to keep the pick and draft the pick. Doesn't matter if it's defenseman or it's forward. Now, out of the 28 entry drafts our Ducks have participated and attended, the Ducks have drafted at least 21 forwards and 11 defensemen. Now, out of all those prospects, at least one became a hockey Hall of Famer, and the other one has won the Stanley Cup with our team. The rest have become very, very good, talented players and NHL regulars over the past 28 years. Now, let's get back on track on who I feel the Ducks should pick. With the third overall selection, it's no doubt that our team needs scoring. Our team needs scoring that in a way that it doesn't matter if that player is NHL ready or not. Of course, the Ducks need a scoring forward. Usually, the Ducks have always been in the tradition, they have always picked strong, good defensemen on the blue line. I mean, last year it was Jamie Drysdale. A few years before that, it was Hampus Lindholm. During the 1990s, it was the defenseman Vitaly Vishnetsky, the late Ruslan Soleil. The Ducks have picked, oh my goodness, Cam Fowler. I could name a few more. But usually in these times, I believe in, personally, to my honest opinion, the Ducks should pick a scoring forward. I mean, there's no need to get another defenseman. I mean, you got Drysdale, you got Josh Mahora, you got Axel Anderson. I mean, you got Simon Benoit. I mean, I could go down the list, but I'm not going to bore you because we all know the Ducks defense core raw depth is got a lot of young, talented prospects on the defensive blue line who are eager and ready to prove themselves to us, to the Anaheim Ducks, and to the Ducks' cause. Now, like many of you, and most of you, you ask yourself, what will our Ducks do besides keeping the pick? Besides holding on to that pick? As we know, it wouldn't surprise most of us. The other option would be to trade that pick. And if the Ducks can trade that pick, package it in a deal, let's say get an important, like an impact player, because as many of you know, as myself, like looking at the stats, the Ducks are just really, really at the bottom when it comes to scoring goals. Power play needs work. The defense core needs to score more goals. I mean, you need a whole mixture of rebuild, rejuvenation, and a bit of reset. I could throw in a few R's there, but you know what I'm getting at. To trade that pick would require our team to be smart, be strategic, and get some players that could, one, revitalize the offense, jumpstart this team, light that spark, which all of us need, which all of us want, or asking, or not asking, demanding and talking about it, yelling about it on the Ducks message board, on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, you name it, to get the word out that the Ducks need a trade to create that roster shakeup that is long overdue. But of course, Bob needs to be proactive. He needs to be proactive, not reactive, not passive in regards to trades. In regards to trades, you need to package some young forwards to get a player that could help out in the offense, but also you need to get a first rounder in return, because there's no point of trading like the third overall with, say, like few players just to get like like a very impact scoring player in return along with a prospect for absolutely nothing, because you need to sweeten the deal. You need to ask or demand, not price out, because the Ducks during the trade deadline under Bob's failure to get something done, the Ducks needed to get like that spark. And before the draft, during the draft, who knows what's going to happen. Either way, we should look into that. The Ducks should look into trading that pick for another pick. Probably trade down. I'm not sure about trading the first overall. You would have to like give an emperor's ransom just to get the first overall. But we will have to wait and see. And speaking for, say, if the Ducks do keep the pick, as they usually do, and if the Ducks do keep it, there are a few players that I believe that will fit well into the Ducks system of hockey, but ensure that the longevity and the line of perseverance and being the underdog and overcoming and going against all odds, ensuring that the Ducks can play a competitive, ruthless style of hockey that we all know and love. That's scoring, that's speed, with a little bit of youth and aggression that could mesh well with the experience. Now, the players I'll be talking about, say if the Ducks do keep the third overall, is down to three players. It's an American, it's a Canadian of Swiss descent, and of course, a Finnish player. First of all, the American. Um, if the Ducks do select this guy, he could, I believe, be a beneficial due to his World Junior Hockey Championship performance in this year, in 2021. I'm talking about Matt Beniers, or sorry if I'm butchering the name. It's here we go. Matthew Beiners. Okay. Or Matty. Okay, 18 years old, center, shoots left. If anyone knows what I'm reading from, go to Elite Prospects. It's a very informative place for all hockey fans and Ducks fans to look at any prospect or junior hockey player or college hockey player coming out from the amateur ranks. It's a go-to guide. Now, Matthew Beniers is one World Junior Hockey Gold, and he was also has scored a goal, 1 goal, 2 assists, 3 points, and he basically is also a beneficial. Say if the Ducks do select him, Trevor Zegras was his teammate, so getting a player that's familiar with the Z-Man could do wonders for our team. It could easily help in the integration of Beiners into the our Anaheim Ducks. If, and I mean if, our Ducks select Matthew Beniers. Okay. Another prospect I'm interested in, if our Ducks do select in this year's NHL draft, is someone from Finland who reminds me a bit of Ducks legend Teemu Selanne and a bit of Jari Kurri. This is R2 or sorry about butchering the name, Aatu Raty from the Finnish Elite League, plays for Kappa Karpat Ulu, or Ulu and Karpat. And again, I apologize for butchering the name. It's the Finnish language is unique on its own. Okay, so now this player, 18 years old, shoots left. His position is center. Here's what a scout said on the Elite Prospects. Versatile forward, has the ability to stick handle faster than some players can, think while remaining ready to share the puck. Now, that tells me that this guy is a playmaker, which, if the Ducks select him, can mesh well, can fit well into our team. And hey, wouldn't hurt selecting another Finn. I mean, the Ducks did select Sami Vatanen in the later rounds. It would be a first for the Ducks selecting a Finnish player from Ducks legend Teemu Selanne's home country. So, all in all, it would be good in my book if they do that. Another player, I believe, and this will be a shock to you all, or not. I'm not sure if it will shock you. I mean, probably most of you would be not surprised with what I'm about to say. Is a player who I feel can not only fit well into our Ducks, but I won't lie to you all, but he is my number one choice. He is a player that cannot be the answer for our Ducks right now if the Ducks select him, but he could be the player who in the future can ensure the Ducks rise in reclaiming the Stanley Cup and becoming the lords of hockey and the emperors of hockey in the NHL, or the dominant team in Southern California and hockey in California and in the United States. This player is someone that my brother recommended to me or told me about, and I look at his highlights as well as the highlights of Raty and Matt Beniers. This player, I believe, even though he's my number one choice, can not only mesh well, but he can be that player that I believe can become the 1-2 punch for the Ducks offense, but not just for himself, but for the Z-Man, Trevor Zegras. I'm talking about Mason McTavish. Now, most of you who don't know who Mason McTavish is, but some of you who do know or watch his highlights, is this player is not only dynamic, but he has his nose for the net. He is very offensive, forward-thinking, and very determined to score a goal or set up plays or get the offense running. And there was a scout who basically said on the elite prospects, and this is basically a quote from a scout, it says, McTavish thrives on finding space. Those instincts combined with a booming shot will allow him to power up goals at any level. That quote, basically you find it also on the website EP Rinkside. Okay. This player, now, finding goals or scoring goals, it tells me this player is proficient or effective in even strength, power play, even the penalty killing. Who knows? I do personally feel that this player, Mason McTavish, as I say, can be that player for the Ducks if they decide to keep the pick and select him. Mason McTavish, Matt Beniers, Raty, 3 players I feel that are the likely candidates for the Ducks if they decide to keep the pick. If they do, then by goodness, whoever the Ducks picked, I will be pleased. But if they pick Mason, it'll be number 1 in my book. It'll be a good pick. If they pick Matt Beniers and Raty, then I will have no problem with it. I can live with that. Because those were my number 2 and number 3 candidates for the Ducks if they choose to keep the number 3 overall. And for many of you know, the draft will be a few months away. Because July, as many of you know, will be very important because of, 1, the NHL expansion draft, where Seattle, the Squidheads, I call them the Squidheads, okay, will pick whoever our Ducks left exposed in the expansion draft. Ducks will also have to make a protected list. They will file into the NHL, the league office. 2 will be the NHL Entry Draft. So whoever the candidate the Ducks will select, hopefully will have a long-term impact on the team. And finally, the NHL free agents frenzy. Now, most of these would have happened this month, but with the unprecedented, challenging times we face, pushing back to July was something we all expect. And as each day, each week, we count down, we should look forward to what our Ducks should do. And with the 3rd overall, I believe that it's a start of real reforms for the team, and hopefully for a massive rejuvenation for our Ducks and the Ducks fan base, especially those in Orange County, California. And I know most of you and all of you are starving for any roster shakeup that happened. And I can't blame you for that. So as we wait, let's hope for the best. And whatever news comes out, who knows? Whether or not, if they keep the pick or trade the pick, it all comes down to us waiting and see. So, till then, I'll see you guys soon.